from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Involved in a hate crime last semester on campus. That's our top story tonight. UNO police tells us criminal violations on campus have slightly decreased. The drug violations dropped from 41 in 2023 to 40 in 2024. And alcohol violations went down from 375 in 2023 to 216 in 2024 on campus. Arrests for drug law violations saw an increase over the same year. Those arrests jumped from 4 to 7. Arrests for alcohol violations decreased from 2023 to 2024. Alcohol busts in on-campus housing went from 11 to 9. UNO police have been investigating more serious crimes.
The Norfolk man who was accused of a hate crime on UNL's campus last spring has accepted a plea deal. 22-year-old Cale Wacker, who is not a student at UNL, was sentenced to 18 months of parole after he pled no contest to third-degree assault in regards to an incident that occurred on March 30th. The incident happened outside of Jurgensen Hall, where Wacker was accused of body slamming the victim while making comments regarding the victim's sexual orientation.
The death of a college student in another state has had an impact here on the UNL campus. Nebraska Nightly's Logan Witten takes us to an emotional vigil.
UNL African People's Union hosted a vigil Wednesday for Trey Reed, who died in Mississippi earlier this month.
Be vocal when it's not trending is what I'm trying to say.
On September 15th, 21-year-old Reed was found hanging from a tree on the Delta State University campus. The Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office ruled the death a suicide, but Reed's family is seeking an independent autopsy. UNL African People's Union President Tia Chisholm says she felt it was important to honor Reed's life.
I think it's really important because his story deserves to be heard, just like many other people around the country who have been sadly killed or just their stories have not been shared by others. I think it's very important that people around our campus community and just around our country are able to hear his story.
Students, professors, and community members all spoke at the event on how Reed's death, racism on campus, and other topics have affected them.
Thinking, who is the next one? Is it going to be here? Is it going to be another state over? Is it going to be another university? Is it going to be an elementary school? Is it going to be a gun? Is it going to be a police officer? Is it going to be any other thing that is made to kill us?
While the vigil focused on Reed, many speakers talked about racial injustice as well.
And I thought about that phrase that you would see in Black newspapers, uttered on the streets of Black neighborhoods, and in 1917 hung from as a banner from a building on Fifth Avenue in New York City. A man was lynched today.
ASUN Speaker for the Senate, Maddie Beasley, spoke on how she hopes this event will help in the ultimate goal of uniting the Black community here on campus.
You kind of walk and it's like, oh, like you don't see anyone who looks like you. But I feel like what I'm hoping to bring with this event is that like there is a community that supports you, especially a Black community here on campus.
Senior math major Jada Logans says that she found the event's turnout encouraging.
Seeing events like these and the turnout of it is like, oh, maybe I'm not nearly as alone as I thought I was. Maybe I can lean on some of the people I met at this event tonight and kind of help them, help me, help them, and help our community.
To learn more about African People's Union, visit their Instagram at UNL_APU. Logan Witten, Nebraska Nightly.
A manhunt went underway in Lincoln yesterday after a woman was reported missing. Lincoln police conducted a welfare check for 42-year-old Jesserae Beck yesterday morning. However, Beck was nowhere to be found. Information from Beck's family led Lincoln police to conduct a search for Beck's ex-boyfriend, 36-year-old Christopher Collins, who was out on bond for domestic assault accusations. The search lasted over 12 hours and ended late last night when they found both Beck and Collins in a Northwest Lincoln home rented out by Collins. Collins is now in custody at the Lancaster County Jail and is accused of domestic assault, kidnapping, false imprisonment, terroristic threats, and use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony, while Beck was safely returned to her family.
Conflict between Ben & Jerry's parent company, Unilever, is causing one of the ice cream maker's founders to resign.
Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield founded their iconic ice cream brand in 1978. But after nearly 5 decades, Greenfield is leaving the company. On September 16th, Greenfield announced that he is resigning from Ben & Jerry's. He said this is due to Unilever, which bought the company in 2000, curtailing Ben & Jerry's social mission and ability to speak out on political issues.
We are at the union asking students if they think companies like Ben & Jerry's should be involved in politics.
I think at some points, politics are politics, and if you can stay out of politics, stay out of politics. But at some points when it comes down to the moral side of it, I feel like it's really important to speak up about it.
I think that companies should stay out of promoting or kind of sharing big viewpoints on certain political issues, just because it should be left up to what people want to decide and how they want to think about it versus kind of polarizing different issues.
As an American, I'm a big proponent of the First Amendment right. I feel like we should be able to say what we want, but I also am a big proponent of consequences for the things that we say. You can't just say whatever you want and then expect nobody to do anything about it. People reacting to your words that's not infringement on your right of free speech, that's just consequence of your actions. And so I believe that companies, right, I feel like they should be able to say whatever they want, whenever they want, right? But I also believe in the repercussions that come with that, and the same goes for individuals that are a part of those companies.
Cohen says that he's committed to staying with the company and, quote, helping it from the inside. Tyler Moore, Nebraska Nightly.
Ben & Jerry's conflict with its parent company started in 2021, but has flared up recently after Unilever fired Ben & Jerry's CEO, David Stever.
UNL Director of Dining Services, Dave Annis, brings some tasty treats directly to student dorms. Nebraska Nightly reporter Hudson Carrico has more.
It's not every day you see the Director of Dining Services making waffles in your dorm. However, at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, one man is delivering breakfast directly to students' doors. Meet Dave Annis, Director of Dining at UNL. He's usually busy running the big picture of campus dining, but every so often he shows up in a much smaller setting.
I've done 4 already this year, which is a pretty good pace. I try to get out once a week if I can. I do have another one scheduled in 2 weeks over at Kaufman, so they're keeping me busy. I also do waffles for departments on campus.
Armed with batter, a waffle iron, and a lot of enthusiasm, Dave whips up fresh, homemade waffles right in the lobby or lounge.
For Dave and the students here, it's more than just waffles. It's a chance to share a meal, ask questions, and make new connections.
I get invited on the floors, and the real idea is to make waffles. I think it helps build community. I think if you look at the side of the waffle hat, my little script on there is building community one waffle at a time. I truly believe that on the floors in the dining centers is where community is built, and the better job we do of doing that, the better experience students will have.
Araceli Hernandez, a student at the university and RA at the Courtyards, says the waffle visits help foster a sense of community. And for Dave, it's all about serving up comfort while doing what he loves, one waffle at a time.
So the importance of having floor events like these is to get our residents to come out and, enjoy their love for free waffles. And even at that, having different floors, whether they're not from floor 4 or floor 5, come together and pretty much just foster community on our floor in the Courtyards.
So the next time you catch that sweet smell in the dorms, don't be surprised if it's Dave behind the griddle.
It's fulfilling to me. Every day, every event I go out and do, getting to meet students and that, it's what I want to do, it's what I love to do, and what I hope I can keep doing, for a few more years.
From Nebraska Nightly, this has been Hudson Carrico in Talon Strong.
It was a nice day today in the capital city.
Nebraska Nightly forecaster Jameson Nichols has a preliminary look on the conditions outside. Jameson?
It's been a lovely day out there, folks. Mid-80-degree weather, slight breeze, not too bad overall. I'll get more into the forecast and see what this weekend is looking like here soon. Now to our break.
Coming up on Nebraska Nightly.
Forecaster Jameson Nicholas gives us our weather forecast.
and a look at how UNL students use TikTok. Stay with us.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today.
Okay, so how about this much?
I don't know.
Well, how about this much?
I don't know.
How about,
Actually, I don't know.
okay, maybe this much?
I don't know.
The very tip of your pencil, a fraction of a raindrop, 3 grains of salt. That's how much it takes for a dose of fentanyl to become lethal. Learn more at realdealonfentanyl.com.
As soon as I kicked one of my buddies in the head, I was like, yeah, we gotta go after that.
I take back what I said.
Hey, done for the day?
Yeah, just kind of maxed out on people.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, thanks for asking. I have been feeling just kind of off lately.
Do you want me to
Concerned about a friend? Just ask and refer them to counseling and psychological services at UNL.
If you were out there today, you would have noticed there was not a cloud in the sky. Sun, sun, and more sun, and that's what leads today's weather headlines. Pleasant temperatures, a very slight breeze, and a great weekend to come. Currently, it's 85 degrees here in the Lincoln Metro. Again, fully sunny. The wind south-southwest at about 10 miles per hour. Pretty pleasant breeze, nothing too bad. Your hair's not going to get messed up. Let's look at radar right here. You can see a little bit of interference in the Omaha, Fremont area. That's to be expected with that Doppler radar. Otherwise, there is absolutely nothing. Sioux Falls up here, out here west to Hastings, Kearney, absolutely nothing. And that trend continues here with our satellite imagery. Look at the Midwest, nothing. Out here toward Colorado in the west, you see a little bit picking up, but nothing too bad. Eastern seaboard, a little bit right here. But man, that Midwest is looking real clear. Overall today, we started off with temperatures in the mid-60s, and that raised as the sun came out, climbed to the 70s, the 80s, and that's going to continue to fall going into tonight. Those winds at about 10 miles per hour, gusts up to 15 miles per hour. Let's look at those temperatures. It's a little chillier out here by Chattering, 70s, Valentine, 80s, but man, the Omaha-Lincoln Metro is looking pretty warm compared to out there. And specifically looking right here at the southeast Nebraska temperatures, 82, 83, mid-80s are today's trend, that's for sure. Forecast tonight, sunny skies into the evening with temperatures cooling down to a pretty pleasant 74 degrees. Those winds will continue at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, so still nothing too shabby right there. And our 7-day forecast tonight, It's 85, or tomorrow, 85 degrees, and that weekend is looking real pleasant. We're looking at clouds persisting Monday and Tuesday. Looking into Thursday, Friday, there will be some storms, but look at all of that sun. It's going to be a great, great weekend, and it's going to be a great 7 days coming up. Back to you.
Thanks so much for that weather update. Good news for UNL students who are worried about losing TikTok. The app is here to stay. Nebraska Nightly's Nicholas Mele goes out onto UNL's campus to see what students have to say about how important the popular social media platform is to them.
After an executive order from President Trump Thursday, majority ownership of TikTok will be transferred to Americans. Some students say they use TikTok to stay connected with their friends and other communities, but this deal makes the future of the app uncertain.
I mean, there's a TikTok account called Find the Money Huskers, and I think just like that account alone just kind of shows like the culture here on campus. People care about other people, and there's a lot of stuff that people do on TikTok that just kind of promotes campus and is good for the culture, good for friends and stuff like that.
I would say I use TikTok a couple hours every day. And it's nice to see like all the RSOs and even like people around campus, just like students, I see them making TikToks, and I can be more connected to my classmates and my peers.
The latest deal, authored by the Trump administration and ByteDance, would turn over about 80% of TikTok's U.S. operations to companies like Oracle and Silver Lake. This allows for the U.S. to oversee how the app stores American data and to have a say in how the algorithm works. For students, this deal will allow for TikTok to stay available inside the U.S., but with possible changes on how content is managed. Nicholas Mealy, Nebraska Nightly.
The decision on the matter is still ongoing as financial and legal points are still being worked out.
It's World FTD Awareness Week. Frontotemporal dementia, which is often shortened to FTD, is a disease that progresses over time, causing parts of the brain to break down. This illness has gotten a lot of attention recently as actor Bruce Willis was diagnosed with it. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains how this story is helping a couple find comfort.
Well, I first started to notice that I couldn't quite complete my sentences all the time.
At age 56, Sean Durbin and his wife Lisa started noticing something was off. At first, they say doctors thought Sean might have a sleep disorder. So you can imagine their surprise when further testing led to the diagnosis of a disease they knew nothing about: frontotemporal dementia, also known as FTD.
I just remember sitting there being completely stunned.
Over time, FTD steals a patient's ability to think, talk, walk, and socialize. Currently, there's no cure, but early diagnosis can help families be prepared, says Sean's doctor, Jagan Pillai, with Cleveland Clinic.
Any changes that are affecting your daily function or your job that is persistent for more than a few months, it's worthwhile to get an evaluation to see where it's coming from.
It wasn't until later that a famous face popped into Sean and Lisa's minds. Actor Bruce Willis was also diagnosed with FTD. Through video, they were able to give thanks to his wife Emma for the spotlight she's helped shine on the disease.
Everybody knows who Bruce Willis is, so it was just something that kind of made it, I don't know. It was very helpful to be able to have that to say.
That support and knowing they're not alone has meant the world to Sean and Lisa, who are now taking each day as it comes.
We're just trying to live our life to the fullest, the best we can every day.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Sean and Lisa say another part of FTD awareness is the toll it takes not only on the patient, but also the caregiver. Lisa says offering some help to any caregiver makes a huge difference, but she says to also allow them to make as few decisions as possible. For example, drop off some groceries without asking what is needed. Coming up on Nebraska Nightly, the Husker soccer team was in action last night.
And undefeated volleyball prepares for the main stage on Saturday.
Tonight on Nebraska Nightly.
On average, every Big Ten student wastes 112 pounds of garbage each year, but there's a fix. Make sure you use an Aussie when you dine in and be a part of the change.
Nearly 1 in 3 Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Bobby Hessling. Last night, Nebraska soccer looked to remain unbeaten with their 5-0-5 record, welcoming the Wolverines of Michigan. Nebraska had not won nor lost in a Big Ten game this season, looking for their first win. Carson Bohanec scored the first goal in the 34th minute for the Huskers, going into halftime in front 1-0. Michigan then answered quickly coming out of the break and tying it up at 1 in the 47th minute. Goal right there was scored by Kaylee Burrell, and then another goal tacked on a little bit later by Michigan as well. Michigan hands Nebraska their first loss of the season, winning 2-1. The Huskers will be back in action again on Sunday against Iowa. The match begins at 1:05 p.m. on Big Ten Plus. On the other side for Nebraska volleyball opened up Big Ten play on Wednesday, taking on Michigan, who was impressive in the preseason at a 10-1 record. There is Harper Murray with a kill against her hometown school. Murray finished with a game-high 11 kills. Andy Jackson with a powerful swing right here, one of her 8 kills of the evening. Nebraska won set 1 25-22 and won set 2 25-10 in commanding effort. Bergen Riley made Husker history, passing Danny Busboom Kelly on the total assists in Husker history rally scoring. She is now 5th all-time at 2,950 career assists. Nebraska won set 3, sweeping Michigan.
We kind of talked to the team that we need to be on a mission, and I felt like the end of the non-conference we were kind of fizzling out and needed to reset, and it was kind of a new season and a new mindset, and it was great to see us show that.
Nebraska will be back in action versus Maryland at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon on Nebraska Public Media, looking to remain unbeaten. Former Nebraska football player, Scott Catholic assistant coach, and beloved Omaha pizza owner of Pisons, Matt Verzel, unexpectedly passed away on Thursday at the age of 51.
Nearly 1 in 3 Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5%, or 2 million tons, was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. With fall officially starting earlier this week, Fat Bear Week makes its return for the 11th year in a row.
This event began on September 23rd and will continue until the 30th.
Fat Bear Week is a single elimination tournament hosted by Explore.org and Katmai Conservancy. Right? When people can vote online for the fattest brown bear in Katmai National Park. The bear that has the most votes advances until a winner is crowned champion on the final day.
People can decide their votes by comparing before and after photos of the bears from the start of the summer to now, and can also tune in to Ranger-led live streams to learn more about each bear's life story.
Fat Bear Week stands for more than just the fun competition. It's an election that celebrates the survival and resilience of Katmai's brown bears, as well as the richness of Alaska's wild lands.
Make sure to visit www.fatbearweek.org to cast your vote on the fattest bear and learn more about the event.
I mean, I think I got to check out this website and see some of these bears. I personally have only seen bears behind like a fence at wildlife safari here in Nebraska, but I'm sure Alaska's got a different breed of bears.
I checked out the website. It's pretty intense. There's lots of fat bears on there. So.
Any good names or reminders that you remember off the top of your head?
The biggest two, there's Chunk. He's a fan favorite, and then Grazer, who was the winner last year.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Sticking with that fall theme, it is shaping up to be a lovely weekend.
Even though the Huskers don't play at Memorial Stadium, it should be a good week to get out and play your own backyard pickup game with the Pigskin.
Nebraska Nightly forecaster Jamison Nichols returns with a look ahead to your weekend.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and it's shaping up to be an amazing the temperatures are shaping up to be amazing, some slight breeze. It's going to overall be amazing. I hope you guys are going to get out there and do something because you want to take advantage of this for sure.
So, I mean, with the great weather this weekend, it does make me wish, of course, that we had a Husker game. We got to wait a whole week to see them play Michigan State.
You need 2 bye weeks as well throughout the season. 3-1, the guys are able to regroup. Rule win on Pat McAfee yesterday. And he said that the boys went out and they practiced on Tuesday and Wednesday. He said, I put the ball down and they played for an hour and a half, roughly hour 15, 1s-on-1s, 2s-on-2s. Competitive spirit for the guys to get back into the rhythm with Michigan State upcoming on the 4th of October.
Right, and I know after the game, Raiola was he said, it sucks that they have to wait a whole week to play Michigan State. I know they want to get their lick back in the Big Ten tournament. Not tournament. Big Ten funds. Yep.
Yeah, I'd have to say I agree with that. I'm very antsy for that Michigan game. Homecoming week 2, so that makes it a little extra fun.
Cool. Well, thank you for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly.
Be sure to follow us on social media at Nebraska Nightly.
Our next show will be on Tuesday afternoon. Until then, have a great night.